First in the news, the Philippines will study the Permanent Court of Arbitration's decision on the Philippines' claim in the West Philippine Sea against China. Rosalie Coz is in Pasay City to tell us why. Go ahead, Rosalie.
Good evening, Diego. A short statement was read this afternoon by Foreign Affairs Secretary Perfecto Yasay saying the Philippines welcomes the award by or the ruling of the arbitral tribunal constituted by the Permanent Court of Arbitration under the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas or UNCLOS. His statement does not contain particularly the decisions made by the Permanent Court of Arbitration, but Yasay said our experts are studying the award or the decision with care and thoroughness. He also called on those concerned parties to exercise restraint and sobriety. Based on the 11-page press release posted by the Permanent Court of Arbitration on its website entitled the South China Sea Arbitration, the Republic of the Philippines versus the People's Republic of China, China has no legal basis to claim historic rights to resources within the sea areas falling within the 9-line claim. On status of features and the entitlements to maritime areas, Arbitral Tribunal concluded that none of the Spratly Islands cannot generate maritime zones collectively as a unit, and that it found it could, without delimiting a boundary, declare that certain sea areas are within the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines because those areas are not overlapped by any possible entitlement of China. The Arbitral Tribunal also ruled out on the lawfulness of Chinese actions, saying China had violated the Philippines' sovereign rights in its exclusive economic zone by interfering with Philippine fishing and petroleum exploration, constructing artificial islands, and failing to prevent Chinese fishermen from fishing in the zone. Aside from this, the tribunal further held that Chinese law enforcement vessels had unlawfully created a serious risk of collision when they physically obstructed Philippine vessels. The Arbitral Tribunal also found that China had caused severe harm to the coral reef environment and violated its obligation to preserve and protect fragile ecosystems and the habitat of endangered species. The tribunal also said China has aggravated the dispute between the parties by its large-scale land reclamation, construction of artificial islands, irreparable harm to marine environment, construction of large artificial island within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, and destruction of the natural condition of features in the South China Sea. President Rodrigo Duterte has already mentioned about the country's commitment to acknowledge the ruling of the Arbitral Tribunal. The Philippine government once again reiterates its stand to pursue peaceful resolution and management of disputes with a view to promoting and enhancing the peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region. Diego, as mentioned earlier, the government has to study carefully its next series of actions after the Permanent Court of Arbitration released its decision on the Philippine arbitration case against China. The ruling of the Arbitral Tribunal on the West Philippine or South China Sea is historic since it is the first legal basis of 5 countries with overlapping claims to the world's most promising oil and gas fields and one of the world's richest fishing grounds. Diego?
Thank you for that report. Rosalie Coz reporting live from Pasay City.